welcome, guys, to our speed dating session. It's gonna be really, really fast. First of all, it's really nice to see you in person. This time we've seen each other 4 years ago, and a lot of things have changed since then. How are you feeling just a couple of days before the premiere of the 3rd season?
I'm excited for people to see this one.
Yeah.
I think it's. I do think it's.
I think it's the
up
best
to its
one.
game.
Yeah, I think it's the best one so far.
I really do.
Yeah.
And I think there are so many Easter eggs, and as in like so many things that link with the books, and I just feel like people will be really happy to see those elements to it.
Yeah.
You mentioned the books. Did you have enough time to read all of them?
Absolutely. I mean, it's always difficult to read whilst you're filming, so between filming I've been able to read the books. Yeah, love them.
I read as I go, like the books that's associated with the season, because I don't want to know what happens. I still don't really know. I have vaguely know, because obviously I've heard things by now, but I don't fully know, which I like, keeping it a surprise.
So how do you feel being there and reading this all at once?
I mean, I love it, like especially, I don't know, certain elements of it I always like I really like to take little things. I feel like, yeah, especially I keep talking about it, I feel embarrassed saying it again, but like in the desert, I just liked really looking into that chapter of the book. It helped me a lot, especially since I was on my own. Didn't have these guys with me.
Your characters changed a lot since the beginning of the show, and I want to know what's your story arc this season? Like, short story about each one of you. Maybe let's start with Joey.
Yeah, I think Jaskier has. He's got his found family. War is coming. He's trying his best to figure out how to help this new adoptive niece of his, but whilst balancing that with some of his own desires and attractions that are presenting themselves, and working out what is truly important to him.
And he has like competition, like.
It's not a competition. He just wins. If you're talking about Baldo Marks, then no, it's not a competition.
Sensitive topic.
Don't go there.
I didn't want to be disrespectful.
That was such a Jaskier thing to say. I don't care.
I know.
Joey doesn't care, but Jaskier just burst out with like, "Oh, don't you?" No, I did get to work with Nathan, who plays Valdo, and God,
he's
so talented, so lovely.
Can we just talk about his high kick?
I know.
I
think I attempted one.
Yeah.
Did you?
Couldn't walk for 3 days.
In competition.
Yeah.
Great high kick, that lad.
Okay, so
Yennefer,
Anya.
at the end of season 2, she's got to come back from the betrayal, and she is trying to make it up to Geralt and Ciri at the beginning of season 3. Again, this newfound family is different, so she's trying to find her way through that. And yeah, I think through it they realise how much they need each other as a 3, and Yennefer definitely kind of understands what her full purpose is this season.
And Freya?
I mean, I don't know. She changes so much from the beginning to the end. She has a lot of idealistic views, which I kind of love about her, but it's very, she's very young in that sense, and you can see that shining through, but there's also something so good in it. But then by the end, when she's kind of gone through so much reality and really seeing what the world can be like and how harsh it can be, it kind of puts her into a different headspace, a completely different headspace from the beginning, and I think that is the biggest shift that we'll see for her.
Yeah, Cirilla was a child at the beginning of the show. Now she has matured a lot, and she has a lot of action scenes.
Yeah, she's terrifying.
Yeah,
she is. She's awful at magic, but she's getting good at fighting now. Yeah, it was amazing actually getting to work with Wolfie, our stunt coordinator. He's just fantastic.
Love that man.
He is so smart in what he does. It's like everything is thought out, and it was just really exciting to get to take elements of Henry and what he does in his fights and how Geralt fights, and implement that into Ciri's fighting, because she's learnt from him ultimately.
Yeah.
And she has her own twists in the way she fights, because obviously I'm a different physique. But it was really nice. You definitely get to see that in one of her last fights. It really does feel very Geralt, which was really fun to put in there.
Was it very challenging, like physically?
Yeah, it is challenging, especially since I'm a perfectionist. So I want to just keep going until we get it, perfect. But it was nice that I had a team that I could trust in fully, and my stunt double was brilliant, Jo. Love her. She was always there to give me any notes, and it's challenging, but I love getting to have that add-on thing to be able to do something so physical, as well as all the kind of very weighty feeling scenes. It's a nice kind of escape to just focus on that.
And you're so good. You're so good at it.
Oh, thanks.
It just blows me away every time.
So Joey, I need to ask you about your hair.
What, is there something in it?
No, in the show, in Jaskier's new hairstyle.
You love talking about my hair.
Yeah, so was it your idea?
Was it my idea to have hair?
To have longer hair.
Well, it was Deb Watson, our makeup head of makeup, and Lucinda, who designs our costumes and everything, all work so collaboratively, and they're so amazingly open to ideas. And we just knew that we just needed to show a little bit of the passing of time. It has been about 6 months. He's getting a bit more rock and roll. He's a bit greasier. He's a bit on the road. He's slightly more punk about it. I don't know. I think that's what they were going for.
Glam, I would say.
Glam.
Glam, yeah.
But you said clam. I was like,
no.
Oh, that makes sense too, I guess.
Very interesting reference.
So tell me, Anya, about the developing bond between you and Cirilla. Is it like mother-daughter, or rather sister and younger sister interaction? Tell me about it.
It's definitely mother-daughter, I'd say. She's only ever really known Tisea as her mother figure, which is unconventional. It's not, it's a love-hate, and that's very complicated. And obviously everything that happened to Yennefer as a child, she didn't really have that figure in her life. So, and she's always wanted to become a mother. So this is new for her, and I think through this, she realises how much she can learn about being a mother from her newfound daughter. So that's a really interesting dynamic. I think when she first begins to make that commitment to Ciri, she forces a lot onto her about her ideas of life. And then there's a turning point this season where she realises that to become the mother she wants, her ego has to really fall.
I love that scene we got to do together where you really felt like, they're having their mum and daughter argument right now. That was incredible.
Don't want to do that, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. And we would both have their things where they're valid, but they're trying to figure that dynamic out between them. And
completely, yeah.
That was really nice.
There's not one superior to the other.
No.
I think that's what I love about this dynamic.
They're similar, but also they have their differences, which is great.
If you were to describe this third season in just one word, what would it be for you?
Oh, I'd say political.
We've had this a few times.
Yeah,
I keep trying to
thing.
change the word up, but everything that comes to mind, it's just mature. It's just more mature than it has been.
Emotional.
Yeah.
That's my word.
I'm going to stick to those guys.
We're going to stick to those
that's
for
a
the
good
whole
3
press
words.
tour.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.